Welcome to the Center of Ki and Yoga with Leah. In today's class, we're going to be focusing on stretching through the hips, the inner thighs and the groin area. Now, if you play sport, this could be potentially a tight area for you, and this class will be great for you to help work into opening and stretching and releasing tension through that area. Now, you may want to grab a belt, a rope or a strap that we're going to use for a couple of the stretches in the class today. And of course, let's get our mats out and begin. So coming onto your mat, we're going to start in a tabletop position. So hands under shoulders, knees are under hips, and we want to plug through our arms and make the arms nice and long. At the same time, feel the crown of the head stretch forward and the tailbone lengthen away behind you. Alright, so take a breath in here, and as you breathe out, I want you to squeeze your belly up, tuck your head under, look towards your belly, and push all the air out by drawing your belly button to your spine. And then breathe in, come to neutral. And as you exhale, draw the belly down, lift the throat, looking up, keep lugging through your hands. We just want to warm the spine up. And then breathe into neutral. And exhale, lift the belly, tucking the head, noticing how the pelvis tilts. Breathe into neutral. And then exhale, draw the belly down, try to tuck the tailbone towards the back of the head. Breathe into neutral. Exhale, draw the belly up, tucking under. Keep pressing through your hands firmly into the floor. Breathe into center. One more each way. Exhale, draw the belly down, lift the head, lift the bottom, squeeze the spine, looking up, push through your hands. Breathe into center. And then exhale, draw the belly up, tucking the head, plug through those arms nice and strongly till all the breath is gone. And then breathe in, come back to neutral. We're just going to stay here, just breathe. And what we want to do now is straighten out through one leg at the back. So take a breath in and exhale, stretch the right leg out behind you. Now, we're going to stay here for a few breaths. I want you to notice where your leg is in line with your bottom and your back. Is it dipping? Is it up high? What we want to try and do is level the hips out. So rather than lifting the right hip as the leg comes up, the hips are actually level. So drop the right hip down slightly if you need to. And just stay and breathe. Extend through the toes behind you. Allow the crown of the head to lengthen forwards and plug down through your arms into the ground. Now feel the belly engage. Draw the belly button in as you exhale. Lovely. All right, and then bring that knee down. Let's tuck the toes in and just shake out the hands, give the wrists a bit of a shake in between. And then we come back onto the hands and knees to do the other leg. So take a breath in and exhale, stretch your left leg out behind you now. Again, notice if your hip is lifting or your leg is dropping. Try to maintain it in a nice straight line. Notice if the hips are rolling up, try and level them out. So even through the pelvis. Now plug through the arms as you breathe through your nose. Crown of the head is lengthening forwards and belly button is drawing in and upwards. Just one more breath here. Good, all right, and then gently bring that down. Let's just do a quick little child's pose. So have the knees slightly apart, bring your head towards the mat. Now if you can't bring your head to the floor, one fist on top of the other and place your head gently on top of that. Yeah, so we want the bottom to drop towards the heels. Maybe that's a bit hard for you, that's okay. Just keep practicing. Taking 2 more breaths here. As you breathe out, try and relax your body. Soften the joints. Lovely. All right, and curl yourself up. We're going to come back onto the hands and the knees. So, all right, so getting ready. So we're going to take a breath in here and just exhale, plug through those arms again. Take another breath in And as you exhale, stretch your right leg back and just let the toes reach back. And now we're going to come up onto your fingertips and we're going to draw the knee in towards the chest, and I want you to throw your foot in front of you so your foot comes between your hands here at the front. Alright, so making sure that foot is in line with your hip, it's not out far and it's not coming in line with the other hip. Alright, so we're in a semi-lunge position here. This already may be a challenge for you. And then what we're going to do is just come up and place the hands on the thigh. And you want to sink down through there. So you're going to feel a stretch through this back thigh and hip. So sinking, and just notice the alignment of your heel and knee. We don't want to come too far forwards. Okay, so try to keep the heel as much under the knee as possible as we stretch through the back thigh. And we just look forwards, breathe down into your belly, feel that length through the front of the left hip and thigh. Keep the belly button drawn in, so don't sag the belly. Keep pressing through the big toe in this front leg here. Maybe we can sink a little more into it. Check that knee isn't rolling out to the side. Keep the knee in line with the right side of your body. Good. All right, and then gently bring it back. Good. We're going to bring our hands on the inside of that right knee. And I want you to shuffle the foot out to the side of the mat a bit. And so you can bring your hands back down. So one hand, your right hand is right near your right foot. The left hand is under the left shoulder. The hands are under the shoulders still. All right, and this is called lizard pose. Now, the right foot, you may need to turn the toes out slightly, depending on how flexible you are through your hips. Lovely. And we just want to allow the crown of the head still to lengthen. Okay, now the back leg, we can keep the knee on the floor. If you want to make it a bit stronger, you can tuck your toes in and see if you can lift the back knee off the ground and push out through your back heel. Okay, we can hold and breathe. Keeping the crown of the head lengthening, keep plugging through your arms. Take some deep breaths here through the nose. Using the belly strength to hold you there. Lovely, and then bring that knee down, untuck the foot, and just see, you can always try, if this is maximum stretch for you, that's fine, but there's a possibility of dropping onto the elbows and the forearms if you can. If you can't do that, just stay with the hands on the ground and keep breathing. If you can get the elbows and forearms down, then keep allowing the crown of your head to stretch forwards. Good, all right, and then bring your hands back in. We're going to shuffle that foot back to the center, coming up onto the fingertips. Take a breath in. Exhale, slide the foot back all the way. Bring your palms back onto the floor and just stretch and lengthen that leg out again. Good, and then breathe in. Come back. So we'll do that on the other side. So take a breath in. Exhale, extend the leg out. Come up onto your fingertips. And then we're going to breathe in, bring that knee in and place the foot in between the hands again. So just checking that alignment of the foot and the hip. And then we can come up and place the hands on the knee and just feel into that right thigh and hip, stretching through there. Looking forwards, draw your belly in now, just don't let it sag. Shoulders are soft, breathe through your nose. Feeling maybe you can drop into it a little bit more, feeling that stretch. Good, all right, and then we're going to bring the hands down, shuffle the left foot out to the side, and then bring your hands under your shoulders again. And we just stay here in lizard pose. So left foot might need to point out, just see how you go. Take a few breaths here. Crown of the head lengthening, arms are lengthening. If you feel you can, we can maybe tuck the toes in and lift the back knee so you can push through the back heel. Only do that if you can and it's comfortable to do so. If it's causing you any stress, then back off a bit. Maybe do for 1 or 2 breaths and then come back down. But if you can't even consider that today, that's okay. Just stay in the first pose. Keep pushing through the back heel as you sink down through the hips. Good. All right, then we can bring that back knee down, untuck the toes, and just have a see if you can. If you can't, don't worry, but bringing your elbows and forearms down, sinking a little more into that. Crown of the head is lengthening forwards. If you need to, just go back to the previous step. Alright, and then bringing the hands back up, we're going to shuffle that foot back in, and then you can come onto the fingertips and slide the foot back, come onto the palms, and just stretch through that back leg again, and then come all the way down. Let's walk the knees through and come onto the back. And just have a moment here to rest, just feeling the energy through the hips and the pelvis area and the thighs. Give that a moment, noticing if it feels a bit warmer, a bit softer. Ideally, we just want to relax and open, especially if it's super, super tight. But that can be challenging. The body is tight for a reason, so we need to give it a chance to relax. Lovely. So we're going to do that another way, just a passive sort of stretch where we bend one knee up and just flop it gently out to the side. So you can have your foot cupping the knee, so on the straight leg. So it's my right knee is bent, my right foot's cupping the left knee, and I can just hang here. Your knee may be up here. Alright, and if that's the case, you can always, if you're worried about the strain, to make it even more passive, you could place a cushion or a towel or something under like a rolled up towel or blanket under the knee if you want to support it. If you don't think you need that, you can just allow the knee to hang open. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. You can place the hands on the hips if you like, just to bring some awareness there. Breathe down into your belly and then soften, breathe out. Good. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to place our hand either on the thigh or on the knee if you can reach. You might need to shuffle a bit around to get there. So the bent knee side arm is just resting on your thigh or your knee. The other hand is just on your hip. Pulling the toes back on your straight leg. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, just looking up and push down gently with your hand so you feel a bit of pressure through that leg. Inhale, bring your head back to the floor, and exhale, squeezing up gently. Good, one more here, breathe in, and then breathing out. Lovely stuff. Alright, and then we let that go. Take the leg back out straight, give it a little wobble if you like. Just be there for a moment, feel how that side of your body feels now. So it's really important to build that inner awareness of our body. Okay, a lot of the times we just do the movement, we just force our body to do these things, we don't really think about it. But what's so great about yoga is that we're actually really connecting our mind and our body and our breath together and bringing in some deep awareness. So let's now bend the left knee up and then let it go out to the side. So foot is cupping the knee, arms are just relaxed, straight leg is just relaxed as well. We'll just stay here for a few breaths. Now remember, if you need to, you can rest your knee on a cushion or something out to the side. If you feel you want some support for your knee, depending on how your hip is feeling. Otherwise, you can just let it hang. Couple more breaths here. left thigh, the right hand on the right hip. Pull the toes back now on your straight leg. Take a breath in and exhale, just lifting the head, looking and putting a bit of pressure through that thigh with your hand. Inhale, come back and exhale. So we don't want the knee to lift as we do this, so we're just placing the hand there to stop the knee lifting. Breathe in, come back to the floor, and one more, exhale. Good, and then gently come back and let your legs go again. Give them both a little gentle wobble and just lie there. Breathe down into your belly. Breathe out, let it soften. Feeling the belly expand with the breath. Lovely stuff. Alright, so this next bit is where we're going to need our belt. So make sure you've got something handy. Alright, so we're going to pull the right knee into the chest. And I want you to hold onto that. Squeeze it in. Extend out through the leg on the ground. Pull the toes back. And just soften the chin to the chest. Allow the back of the neck to lengthen. Just a few breaths here. Relax your shoulders. Relax your elbows. And relax your face. Yes, don't scrunch up your eyes or clench your jaw. Just let them be soft. Smile if you can. Just enjoy the stretch. Keep stretching through the leg on the ground. Alright, so we're going to use our belt now. And I want you to take it over the ball of the right foot. So you can hold that belt with your right hand. Yeah. And place your left hand on your left thigh. Now for some of us, there's a possibility that we can actually hold over the toes onto the padding of the foot, or just use two fingers to grab the big toe. Okay, but if that's not a possibility, that's where the belt will come in handy today. Alright, so chin is to the chest, head is on the floor, left hand on left thigh. Take a breath in. And exhale, stretching your right leg up towards the ceiling. Now, the leg probably won't straighten for you, okay? That's okay. But please pull your toes back on your feet. Push out through your top heel so you get the stretch through the Achilles tendon. And keep working through this leg on the ground by pressing the heel away and pulling the toes back. Last little bit, make sure your right arm is straight, so don't hold here with a bent elbow. Slide your hand up the belt if you need to make sure your arm is nice and long. And we're breathing here through the nose, so close your mouth. Allowing the whole back of the leg to lengthen, pulling the toes back still, pressing through the heel. So we hold for a few breaths, try to soften and lengthen. So if you feel your legs shaking or wobbly, that's okay. If it gets too much, just bring it back and pull the knee to the chest and hold that like we did just before. Just take some deep breaths down into the belly. You may find the longer you hold, the maybe the leg can actually straighten. If you're holding with your hand, then just make sure the leg isn't going out to the side somewhere. We want to keep the foot over the chest. Just a couple more breaths here. Allowing that leg to lengthen. Good stuff. Alright, so we're going to slide this left hand that's on the thigh just onto the left hip. So you can just let your elbow rest on the ground. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a breath in, and on the breath out, we're taking the right leg out towards the right side of us. Now, the left hand on the left hip is ensuring that the left hip doesn't lift off the floor. So you want to make sure your left hip stays on the ground, the left buttock stays on the ground. Push through your left heel really strongly, and that will allow that leg to stay grounded to the floor. And we take the right leg out to the right. Don't let the right foot drop to the ground though. We want to keep it extending away and off the floor. Now maybe you've only gotten to here and that's a big enough stretch for you. That is completely fine. As long as you're feeling the stretch through the hip, through the thigh, working into the belly by pushing through both heels still, making sure that left bottom stays on the ground. Just a few more breaths. Keep pulling the toes back, especially on the leg where you're holding the belt. Breathe down into your belly. And exhale, draw the belly in. One more breath in and out here. And then let's bring the leg up, and we're going to let that leg go. Just let it float back to the floor. And we're just going to give that a minute to soften completely. So palms are up beside you. Breathe down into your belly. Just notice now what you can sense through the right side of your body and how that feels different to the left side. So about 5 or 6 breaths here, just slow, gentle breaths. Feeling, observing, sensing what sensations you can feel. Maybe in the buttock, the hip, the thigh, maybe even in the face. Maybe half your face feels softer now, the jaw more relaxed, the forehead as well. Allowing the belly to expand as you breathe in, and then let it soften as you breathe out. Alright, so we're going to do that exact sequence on the other side. So bring your legs side by side, pull your left knee in, just holding here first. Extend through the right leg on the ground. Now if you find you've got a harder side when we do these stretches, then at the end of the class do your harder side one more time. Yeah, so just repeat the harder side if you need to. Keep extending the leg on the ground, soften the face, soften the jaw. Alright, so we're going to use our belt again, or the hand if you can reach. Alright, so holding the belt with your left hand, the belt goes over the ball of the foot, not on the arch. Okay, so we're going to put it just below the toes. Right hand comes to the right thigh, chin to the chest, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we take that left leg up towards the ceiling. Lovely, so chin is tucking in, leg on the floor, make it nice and long. So for me, this is my harder side. This side doesn't want to stretch as much as the other side does. So I tend to try and breathe more into it. Sometimes I hold this one a little bit longer. But if I was to do another side, to repeat a side, this is the side that I would be repeating because this is the side that is harder. So breathing through your nose. Again, just make sure your arm is straight. We're not bending the elbow as we hold the belt. Push through both heels, make the legs longer. As you exhale, see if you can soften. Soften the belly, soften the legs, so the muscles can lengthen. Good, alright, so just allowing the leg to stay nice and long. Let's slide the right hand onto the right hip. Bring your mind into that leg on the ground. Take a breath in, and exhale, we take the left leg out to the left side. So just be very aware of the right hip staying grounded into the floor as you take the left leg out to the side of your body. We don't want to let it rest on anything, so keep extending through both heels. Chin is to the chest, neck is long. Push through both heels, toes are back. Breathe down into the belly. Just going as far as you can, not overstretching. Extending the heels away. Breathe down into your belly. Keep squeezing your right hip to the floor. Press out through your right heel more. Good. Alright, and then gently bring the leg back up. Let your belt go. Let your leg come back down. And we'll just lie here again for a moment. Arms beside you, palms are up. And just feel that left side now, noticing, observing, sensing whatever sensations there are through that left side. Feel the belly expanding with your breath, softening as you breathe out. Giving our body a chance to assimilate those changes, to integrate what we've done. Really important. A lot of us, especially if we're athletic and we like to do a lot of movement, sometimes we don't like to lie still. Okay, and so this sequence we're doing today is really going to give you that opportunity to find that stillness, to relax enough to be able to be still, even just for a minute, is enough to give our body a chance to assimilate the changes that we've made. Lovely. Alright, so let's just bring the knees up, bend them in. We're going to reach around and just grab hold of them and just rock side to side gently. Very gentle rocking. Good. And then try and squeeze your knees together. Take a breath in. As you exhale, pull your head and knees towards each other. Try to get them to touch. Inhale, bring your head back. Exhale, pull your head to your knees. One more, breathe in. And exhale, squeezing up. And then let's rock and roll along the spine a few times. Get a bit of momentum going. And then coming all the way up and finding a comfortable seated position. You can kneel, you can cross your legs, have your legs out straight, or sit on a cushion if you need to. And just rest one hand in your lap, palms facing upwards. Maybe the thumbs can touch there. Lovely. And just take a couple more breaths. Feeling all that softness and length through your body now. The hips are warm. The thighs are softer. There's a bit of strength and energy in your belly. Alright, and let's breathe in, arms rising up. Exhale back down. Breathing in and out. One more breath in. Now we draw the hands through to our chest in prayer pose as we exhale. Lovely. Let the shoulders soften. Tuck your chin into your chest. Feel the neck nice and long, the spine nice and long. Tailbone sinking down towards the floor. And take a moment here to acknowledge your effort. I hope you're feeling really lovely and soft after this class. A bit more space through those hips, a bit of a stretch through the groin. And keep repeating this class day after day and you'll notice you get more flexibility and openness and length in that area. Thank you so much, and I look forward to seeing you in another video real soon. Bye for now.